Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network.
Don't it feel good when the Cavaliers and the Pistons tied the series, tied at 2-2? We can kind of stretch just a bit. Cavaliers going on the road. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up tonight on Midnight Run. Plus, the return of our favorite segment, Midnight Conversations. Myself, Eli, and Omar will have that for you, including the big question. Does water equal wet? I personally don't think so, but some of you are probably going to be pissed when you hear my discussion about that. But that's coming up. Is water wet? Part of Midnight Conversations. Also, listen, Skip Bayless and Stephen A. separate, they're annoying. Together, it's television gold. We'll talk about that. Plus, any NFL schedule news. We'll get that for you coming up tonight at midnight. It's Midnight Run. We're with you every single weeknight at midnight right here on the Inside Edge Network.
And welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad Bryan to my right, which means he's over to your right. I'm Eli Moon, and we're rocking and rolling. A wild start to the show. If you only knew what went on behind the scenes before we had the on-air light hit, yeah, you'd wonder too. We have a wild show for you. A lot of news breaking and just some overall dialogue we want to have about some cool things as well here in the sports world. And of course, we have our Tuesday top 5 list later on. If you have missed Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell here on the Inside Edge Network from 5 to 6 p.m. here weekdays, and you heard you missed me talking about earlier what the topic would be, so we'll save that for later. But Chad, if the people want to stay tuned in with all of our Tuesday top 5 lists, they're going to want to go ahead, like, subscribe, follow all the great stuff Inside Edge Net on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And of course, they're going to want to go right above your head there. There's a QR code. It takes you to the partners page. Right there, pal. InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That'll take you to the partners page, that QR code over there that way. And, of course, you'll see all of our great sponsors. You've heard from Fanatics.com. You've also heard from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. So we'll hear from Monster Moments, SportsMemorabilia.com, and W Energy. We appreciate our partners, and we appreciate you for being here with us as Cleveland's digital leader and your source for sports, entertainment, mental health conversations, and so much more. We appreciate you. Check out the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. And again, if you missed with Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell, then you definitely heard some groundbreaking or missed some groundbreaking news yesterday. That if we get 10 purchases, Chad, on the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com, go to the merch page, you get 10 purchases. I'll let Kyle cut my hair during an episode of Unfiltered at his house. And we'll obviously have it for everybody out there. So it could get a little crazy. Obviously, we need the people's help, and we appreciate you. But with all that being said, pal, how are you doing on this Tuesday?
I'm doing well. Is that going to be like one of those ASMR segment where like the entire episode you hear the clippers going?
I hope not.
Like sometime. No, okay.
I hope not. We're just gonna have a conversation, pal. We're just gonna have a conversation.
That's fair. Okay. I'm doing good. I was thinking about that with Double A's coffee. I was like, we should make like a whole ASMR edit. That should be the beginning of Midnight Run. It should just be like all the sounds of Double A's coffee brewing. Whatever. Production notes. We'll keep that behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I'm doing well, man. How are you? It's Tuesday, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it is Tuesday. It's been a wild week so far. Very eventful week, but I'm doing good, man. I looked on the weather app, and I know that's something that's near and dear to your heart. And obviously, our friend Matt Wins does a great job. So usually, I don't even need the weather app on my iPhone, but took a look at it today. Saw it was going to be 84 next Monday here, and I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
But what I really want to get to know about here on this Tuesday, right before we get started with anything else. You've been talking a lot about grass cutting and getting the yard mowed, and you had to yank your big riding mower out of the yard. I mean, what is going on? Have you been able to cut your grass? We've had a few days with not as much rain.
I cut some of it. So I don't know what's going on with the yard. We get enough rain to keep it nice and just soft enough that I can't apparently put my lawnmower everywhere. I got it stuck again today. Couldn't mow the front. I did one strip right by the road in the ditch, and I was nervous I was going to slide into the ditch, but I was like, I got to show my neighbors that there's an effort here, right? I got to hey, look, I cut one strip. This is all I could do, right? I didn't get bored with it. I try. You can look, it's muddy. It is what it is. So anyway, I'm in the back. I was like, I'm going to go all the way to the back today because I couldn't go all the way to the back of the brush line the other day, last week when I mowed. So I'm like, this week I'm going all the way to the back. I got to the very last strip of grass right before we get to the brush line, right? The trees are back there, and we got a whole wooded thing, and I got it stuck again. So,
oh no,
I had to get off the lawnmower and push it out. My shoes were all muddy. It was a mess. So I got it out. I got on, started it back up, and then I immediately got it stuck again. So I physically this time again had to pull the front axle out of the mud. I was a mess, man, but I got most of the grass cut. I still can't cut the point is the part that's right in front of my house in between the trees, and I can't cut the ditch down by the road. Oh man, it's stressing me out, but I got some of it. Some of it.
Well, we give you an A for an effort, pal. And you know what? We know you're going to get the rest of that grass cut. And, it's going to look great after. Man, we need an after picture, all right? I don't know if you took a before picture. We at least need an after picture of seeing what this thing looks like.
I'll get out there tomorrow. I'll get you one. Tomorrow night on the show, we'll get one. And listen, Matt, if you're watching, Matt Wentz, please cancel the order for the rain. Stop ordering us rain. We don't need any more.
We don't need soaking rain. Soaking
rain is what I heard him say today on his forecast.
Come on, Matt. Come on,
please. It's like a horror movie, honestly. It gave me chills, and I thought my lawnmower is just going to sink further into the yard. I should have just left it out there, honestly.
Yeah. All right, Chad. Let's before you have any flashbacks of your mower getting stuck in the yard and all that, let's dive into some NBA playoffs, pal. They are still with a few matchups left in the second round. The Cavaliers being one of them. Cavs and Pistons 2-2 going back to Detroit. And, of course, we'll have post-game coverage tomorrow here on the Inside Edge Network. So make sure you stay locked in here with us. And then, of course, you got Spurs and Wolves, which are in a battle right now. In a battle in the series 2-2. They will go 6 regardless of the result tonight as they're finishing up. And we'll have a final before you when it goes final. But two pretty interesting matchups. You look at the Cavs Pistons. We did a great job, I feel like, if I do say so myself, talking about the Cavs Pistons series.
Yeah.
And I think just breaking down how these are two teams that are trying to get to new heights, have never really been to the conference finals, especially Donovan Mitchell. I mean, the only guy that you really can think of is James Harden. It's been quite some time for him even to get back to the conference finals. So you look at that, and it's two teams that are really scrapping, clawing, whatever, to get back to the Eastern Conference Finals or get there for the first time against a Knicks team that's going to be resting, and we'll see what that does, if that affects them in a good way or a bad way. Time will tell on that. But you look at this other series, you got to look at the Spurs and the Wolves, and you see this matchup, Spurs-Wolves, and you think on paper, okay, Anthony Edwards nursing an injury, coming into this second round, Dante DiVincenzo out for the rest of the playoffs, the Spurs being the Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, you have Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox. I mean, they have a lot of guys that can really make an impact. It's all led by Wemby.
Mm-hmm.
And the Wolves have gave them a run for their money. They've made it very physical. They have made it a series, and it doesn't look like they may win tonight. Barring, I believe they're down 20 right now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It's 93-73. So barring a huge comeback by the Wolves, they're going to have to go back to Minnesota and force a game 7 after that.
Yeah.
What have you made just overarching? And it could be about Cavs Pistons. It could be about the Wolves Spurs, or just overall in this second round. What is one of the biggest things that stood out to you about any of these matchups?
Well, I mean, they closely mirror each other, right? The East and the West right now. You've got one team just kind of sitting and waiting in the conference finals on each side. Speaking of stuck in the mud, the Cavs are going to have to go on the road tomorrow night. They're going to have to pull themselves out of the mud and find a way to win a game on the road if they want to move on past this series. They're going to have to. The Pistons don't have to win a game in Cleveland, right? They don't ever have to. They don't have to worry about playing well in Cleveland. They just got to play well at home.
Yeah.
So the Cavs are going to have to figure that out. But yeah, I think it's weird that the East and the West so closely mirror each other. In that, like I said, you've got one side that it was a sweep, right? Both sides at 4-0. The Knicks have moved on. Nobody's really surprised about the Thunder moving on, except for maybe you. You did have some faith in the Lakers. I applaud you for showing some faith in the.
Didn't have to bring that up, Chad. Didn't have to bring
well,
that up.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, okay. Maybe we can edit that out. Oh, we're live.
We're live.
Okay, well, we'll move past that then. But yeah, when you said the Lakers were going to win that series, I wasn't supposed to bring that up again. That's my fault.
Are you on repeat? Did somebody hit your loop button? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, I'm frozen. No, it's weird that the like I said, the East and the West so closely mirror each other. We're going to see how, and I don't think really anything's going to slow the Thunder down. Rust, viscosity breakdown. I don't think anything could slow the Thunder down right now. I think they'll be fine. They're probably going to come out of the West, I would imagine. Maybe the Spurs, if they can get past the Timberwolves, who knows? Looks like they're going to be in pretty good shape tonight, although that lead has shrunk a little bit. It's down to 15. But, yeah, I don't know. I just think, like I said, it's just that both sides mirror each other so closely. We've got, just we'll see the rest versus rust thing, and versus a team that's probably going to be battle tested. Like we said, that series is at least going 6. The Eastern Conference, second round, that's going 6 at least. Probably will end up going 7. We'll see. We hope, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, we don't hope. I mean, I guess we hope we win in 6, but I feel
as long as they win the series. Look, we can't really choose how the destiny is going to go right at this point. If they win in 6, awesome. If they have to win in 7, so be it. Yeah. Ideally, yes, Chad, to your point.
My slip in the tongue tells you how I feel about tomorrow night, though. I'm feeling a little uneasy about going on the road and trying to win in Detroit. So
yeah, but I'll say it again. What I really, and I said it yesterday, with the post-game show with you and Autumn and myself.
Yeah.
I do think Duncan Robinson and Jalen Duren are going to be the biggest factors for Detroit. If those two get going like they did the first few games in Detroit, it's going to be a long night for the Cavaliers. Yeah. But if Jalen Duren looks like he did in Cleveland, where he did not look like one of the most improved player candidates that he was nominated for this year, and playing like a guy that had one of his better years as a pro, and if Duncan Robinson can't hit those knockdown shots and create that spark, then the Pistons are going to have a long night, because I do think Donovan Mitchell has finally woken up. I think he is ready to go, and he has realized this. He is now 2 games away. 2 games from getting to the conference final for the first time in his career. He's never been there. He is the closest, it feels like, from not necessarily just always a series standpoint, but from the emotion standpoint. It feels like the series has swung in the Cavaliers' favor, and they really just have to carry that back into Detroit. But maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm not. But the biggest question is always, can they withstand that Detroit toughness? And it's going to be on display there in the Motor City tomorrow.
Yeah, they're going to be comfortable. They're playing at home. Obviously, I don't know. I mean, it feels weird that there are such huge advantages in the NBA to home court. They're all the same. I mean, all the arenas are pretty much shaped the same. I mean, I guess the sight lines are a little bit different. You're shooting on the road versus shooting on the home. There might be a different sign or something in the background or whatever. But they're all pretty much the same. I mean, we talked about, I always bring up in the college, and with the NCAA, like the final, March Madness, rather, not the Final Four, but the first round of March Madness, when you get some of the smaller schools in there, and they're playing in a bigger arena for the first time, I think that makes a difference, right? You get like a really hot shooting school, and all of a sudden they go 4 for 26 or something from the 3-point line. You're like, well, what happened? I mean, they made like 18 threes in their conference champ. Well, yeah, they're playing in a smaller gym. They get into a giant arena, and it looks different. It throws your depth perception off. But that doesn't really happen in the NBA. I think it's just a comfort level, I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's uncomfortable to have an opposing crowd out there screaming at you, yelling at you, and they're just feet away from you right on the floor. But to me, I feel like that's kind of motivating. I feel like that would be a fun environment. I mean, you're not in physical danger, but maybe it's just I don't know. I've never played in that environment. To me, it sounds like, it looks like it would be fun. I kind of like the idea of going in and playing the villain a little bit on the road, but maybe that's just me. Who knows?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It is probably fun playing on the road. Now, the big thing is, can the Cavaliers have fun and win on the road? That's going to be the big question tomorrow. And it'll be a question for the Spurs in Game 6 against Minnesota, regardless of the result tonight. They're going to have to go to Minnesota and win there in order to move on to the Western Conference Finals. So we'll kind of keep an eye on all of that. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be fun, Chad. You know what it's not going to be fun for, though, is Daryl Morey. He is not going to be spending any more time in Philadelphia, at least not as the general manager of the Sixers. We'll talk about that and a lot more coming up here on Inside Edge Primetime when we come back. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, follow all the great stuff at Inside Edge Net. Again, Inside Edge Net, so you stay locked in here with us as Cleveland's digital leader and your source of sports, entertainment, mental health, and everything in between. And, of course, check out the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Again, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. You see it there, Inside Edge Net, and the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Chad Bryan to my right, your left. No, you're right, my right. I'm Eli Moon. This is Inside Edge Primetime. We're back after this.
Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to sportsmemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. Sportsmemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
And we thank you for your support of the Inside Edge Network. And don't miss my show, Midnight Run, right here on the Inside Edge Network. You won't miss a single episode when you like and subscribe at Inside Edge Net.
And welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. I was looking for Chad Bryan, and he is over on my right, which would of course mean he's on your right as well. And I'm Eli Moon. He is, yes, hello, how are you? We are back. We are having a wild Tuesday, a wacky Tuesday, which is usually reserved for our Wednesdays, but wacky nonetheless. We are back and rocking and rolling. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, follow all the great stuff at Inside Edge Net so you can stay locked in with us as Cleveland's digital leader, your source of sports, entertainment, mental health conversations, news, and everything in between. We appreciate you. So go ahead and check that out. Of course, check out the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com, where you can go ahead and check out our great partners you've seen from Fanatics.com, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. You've seen from W Energy. You've seen from SportsMemorabilia.com. We'll see from Awesome Moments as well. We appreciate our great partners, of course, Omega Video Marketing, who works extensively with AA on Midnight Run, one of his proud partners. But we'll mention her as well. Great work as well. The partners and you for out there tuning in. We've had a wild start to the day, start to the evening, and we're doing a little bit more of that with Daryl Morey. As Daryl Morey's out as the Philadelphia general manager, the Sixers move on from Daryl Morey. They're going to retain Nick Nurse, Chad, the head coach of the Sixers. But you would think after a 7-game battle against Boston, they go to the second round, and I know they get swept against New York, but a team that wasn't really expected to even get to that point. You know, Paul George, you know, the days of PG-13 really going off in the playoffs are kind of done. And he's going to give you a little bit here and there, but it's not what it once was. Tyrese Maxey had a good run in the first round, the second round, not so much. And then Joel Embiid. The big question is, which has been the question his entire career, can he stay healthy? And it was a trouble just being on the court. First off, that was trouble enough. And then the Knicks, they're just playing lights out basketball. So it makes me wonder, though, the Sixers had a better year than I'd say the last 2-3 years they had before. So it makes me wonder, like, why now? Why are you moving on from Daryl Morey? I just can't make sense of it after this type of run. I guess maybe, okay, you feel you've hit the wall and his moves haven't made sense, and I get it. Jared McCain over to the OKC Thunder at the deadline for, I believe, just a first-round pick, and they may have acquired a few seconds as well, but the big thing of getting a first-rounder, I don't understand it. Now Jared McCain's the 8th best player in OKC, and the Sixers are missing a core rotation guy they could have really used. But I don't really understand why now. Can you make any sense of this, Chad?
No, it's hard to tell. I mean, Morey's been there since 2020, right?
Correct.
So I don't know. I think sometimes it's just these things run their course, right? And I don't know. Maybe you're just looking for a different philosophy to roster building than what Daryl Morey has given you in that team president role or whatever. Maybe looking for someone a little more, financial minded, a little more, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Just going in a different direction.
Yeah.
We've been trusting the process in Philadelphia for quite some time, and it's gotten us here. And listen, I mean, an unexpected series win. It seems like an odd time to move on, but I don't know. I guess this is. I don't know. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, why Daryl Morey and no one else. But I don't know. Maybe it's just one of those things. Like I said, just looking for a different philosophy and team building and going to move in a different direction, get a fresh set of eyes, a fresh mind in there, and try to hit the ground running.
Yeah, and you wonder, Chad, with everything going on with, and I made the proclamation that Jaylen Brown will not be a Boston Celtic going into next season.
Yeah.
And ESPN talked a little bit about Joel Embiid needing a change of scenery. I agree with that. I think whoever comes in as the next Sixers GM, whoever it may be, is going to see, okay, this is the last time in Joel Embiid's career you're going to be able to get anything truly close to what you can get for him at the peak of his game.
Yeah.
This is it. So why wouldn't you, if you're a new GM in this position, you have Tyrese Maxey you can build upon, VJ Edgecombe that you can build upon, the 19-year-old that played very well his rookie season.
Yeah.
You can build upon these things and then get some other guys in here by way of draft picks, by way of maybe utilizing these draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
We are literally talking about the OKC Thunder, right? They did all of this by drafting well. They are homegrown as can be, and they are still a problem. They're going to be a problem. They may win the NBA championship again this year, may do it again next year. They have the 12th overall pick, so they are completely running a monopoly in the NBA right now.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of guys on really team-friendly contracts too that are contributing in a big way. It's kind of remarkable what they've done, but whatever. Yeah,
absolutely. And you look at the Sixers, Chad. I don't think they're going to be able to do necessarily the OKC Thunder route. I don't think anybody is going to be able to replicate what Sam Presti's done. It's pretty remarkable and probably one of the best general manager movements, whatever.
Yeah, is it luck? Is that just luck, Eli? I mean,
no, it's not. He has made the right moves and understood. Okay, we're gonna have to be bad for a little bit. But then we're just going to capitalize off of the right moves. I mean, you got to think their star, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is by way of the Clippers wanting to move off of him. I mean, the Clippers said, let's bring in Paul George. Let's bring him in with Kawhi Leonard, because before James Harden in Los Angeles, it was Paul George. And Sam Presti saw the value in getting a guy before his upside completely was there. But, he saw the potential. And I think he's just a scout for talent. And he knows how to run an organization. I don't think anybody saw this coming, Chad. I don't think anybody saw owning like multiple draft picks, every year at one point. Yeah. But
well, and that's the thing about the NBA is there's a lot of guys who are between like 6'5" and 6'9", who are 16 and 7 guys, right? Like people always talk about 18 and 9, 20 and 10, whatever. 20 and 10 is pretty good. But they could go either way. You bring them into the right organization, the right situation, the right roster, whatever you want to say, the right team, the right environment, whatever. You could use any word. And all of a sudden now they're 22 and 11 guys, and that's a huge contribution, right?
Yeah.
Bring some guys in that are the 18 and 8 or 17 and 7, whatever, and they go the other way. They're 12 and 5 guys now. They don't really fit in. And it seems like, man, OKC just keeps they just draft guys who fit. It's remarkable, and a lot of, it's not just the Cavs. There are a lot of franchises that have completely missed on first round picks. It happens, right? In the NBA, it's a thing. It definitely happens. You can't blame the Cavs. They've definitely hit on some first round picks. That LeBron fellow was pretty good from a while back, but
yeah,
he was pretty good. He was okay. What?
Yeah. But wonder what he's doing now.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Probably doing something. Maybe playing a different sport on the West Coast. You don't hear about things that happen on the West Coast out here in Ohio. It's just like if it happens out there, it doesn't really happen. I'm sure he's playing handball or something for Olympic handball or something. he was a good athlete. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's, like I said, there's a handful of guys that when you bring them into the right organization, the right environment, they flourish, right? Their talents blossom and they fit into the rotation. They fit into everything that franchise is trying to do, namely OKC, and it really, really works. And then there's those handful of guys that just go the other way, and a lot of franchises just get stuck in the mud, to bring back the lawnmower.
Yeah.
And they just trying to get those 18-9 guys in, and they come in and they're not 18, they're 12-5 guys again. And I don't know, it's just it's frustrating to watch another franchise do it so well. Not that the Cavs are in a bad spot. I mean, here the Cavs are, they're alive in the playoffs. It's 2-2, they're doing fine. But they're not the overwhelming favorite to win the NBA title, and you'd love to see that, right? In the post LeBron years, I mean, it'd be nice to get back to that.
Yeah,
I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, I think I think the other interesting thing though about OKC, one more point about them is before Chris Paul became a point where to the point where he didn't want to help develop the younger talent, and he wanted to kind of just have his way with everything with the Clippers, and that's why Clippers moved on from him and they don't get the retirement tour or whatever.
Yeah,
he was helping out Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and mentoring him in OKC, and they were making a run for the playoffs and being one of those teams that were making a little bit of noise. So they started developing while they were in the background behind the scenes, acquiring all these first round talents, and they made a few moves too. Isaiah Hartenstein bringing him in. I mean, that was a significant move. The trade for Jared McCain, getting a 3-point shooter. They moved. I think Isaiah Joe, he wasn't drafted by OKC. I believe he was drafted by Philadelphia. So you look at some of these guys they've added along the way. This is remarkable by Sam Presti. And who's going to stop it? We don't know, because again, they have the 12th overall pick this year. Yeah. Everybody is pretty much under contract for next year. They're only going to continue to just grow as a complete unit. Chet Holmgren was talking on Inside the NBA on ESPN after the game the other night when they won Game 3 against the Lakers. And he was talking about how they had 17 deep. Chad, most teams would be happy to be 10 deep. The fact that they have 17, you can't even.
What are they, the Dodgers? Yeah, like what?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So you look at that. Who's going to stop OKC? We don't know. Hopefully the Cavaliers. We'll see. They're in their own battle right now with Detroit. We'll have post-game tomorrow here on the Inside Edge Network.
Yeah.
For Game 5. So we're excited about that. And you know what? Another thing we're excited about, Chad? You brought this story to my attention. Just some cool stuff over there in Columbus.
Yeah.
Shout out my little brother, Austin, who is a Buckeye. And this does involve those Buckeyes. Would you like to take the baton from me and talk about some cool stuff going on with Ohio State?
Yeah, sure. So I know a lot of people don't like this stuff. A lot of people just want the scarlet and gray uniforms, right? Just give me scarlet and gray. Give me I want the scarlet on the, in the horseshoe, and I want white jerseys on the road. And that's it. Don't mess with the uniforms. But some people really like this stuff, and the Buckeyes have changed. Remember they had the black uniforms, which is kind of the plain red and white stripe. They've gone to the black uniforms haven't changed much. I mean, there's a couple of things, and I'll pull this graphic up here.
Okay.
You can kind of see before and after the new stripe or whatever. It's got they're calling it the heritage stripe. They're going to the heritage stripe for the black uniforms now. I really like the black uniforms, and they say we're going to see them a couple of times. I agree with a lot of the comments, though. I will say this, Eli: these uniforms do not hit the same, on a Saturday noon kickoff, on Fox or whatever on Big News. I don't think you wear these during a noon game, right? You got to get some home games at night, right? In the horseshoe, and lean into it. Have a blackout. Here's another look at them or whatever. There's some words there that you can't read, but it's basically just kind of it's describing.
Are you giving me an eye test on air that you didn't?
Yes, read that bottom line for me if you could. Just it's K. Why don't all the letters look M? H.
These are sick, though. These are sick. And here's the reality of the situation.
Ford Festiva on the bottom. I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
You're good. No, here's the reality of the situation. They're not going to get any night games. I mean, they are going to be Big Ten noon, big noon. Yeah. That's what they are. That's what they're doing. I mean, but the uniforms are sick. These are real cool. I mean, who would have thought just a little bit of accents, a little bit just added to the helmet there. And, I think a thicker stripe there. Is that, different? Can you go back to that first one, that first graphic you pulled up? I just want to see, is there a difference right there? It looks like there's a little difference in the shoulders.
It's the scarlet and gray, right? Instead of the red and white stripe on the black uniforms, they've just added the gray, that touch of gray. And like I said, the heritage stripe, to where it's the thicker stripe. It's the, and a lot of people really like the home scarlet jerseys with the heritage stripe. So I get it. I get the changes. I like the black uniforms. Listen, this is where I'm a little bit young at heart, right? I'm an old guy. I'm 46. I'm going to turn 47 next month. But, I'm not always stuck in the mud when it comes to something. I like, some of I love, listen, there are a lot of college football teams, Eli, that have some pretty amazing uniforms. I'll be honest with you. And I like the alternate uniforms. I think that's exciting for kids, man. I mean, I say what you want. I know, like I said, some of some people just like the scarlet and gray, and that's fine. You can like what you like. Certainly not telling you, what you can and can't like, but I think this is more for the players, right? The players see stuff like this and they're like, hey, man, I'm gonna look pretty good in that all black uni, like coming out the tunnel in the all black. Like, look at Jeremiah Smith, but wearing the whatever. I think they look amazing. I love the black helmet, the red, Buckeye leaves. I think that looks great. Well, I should say scarlet. I shouldn't say red.
Yeah, how dare you?
How dare I? What am I? Am I even a Buckeye fan? What am I doing? But yeah, the scarlet leaves I think are awesome. And the jersey supposedly has some metallic flakes that are going to catch, and the helmet has some flakes they're going to catch in the whatever it is, I guess in the sun, since it can't be under the lights.
I was gonna say,
yeah,
man, dude, I'm not gonna lie though. We're playing football growing up. I mean, I didn't play it at necessarily anywhere close to the professional level, but playing with like black uniforms and the black pants and everything. Oh my goodness, bro, I was cooking.
Yeah. Wait till some of these August starts when it's 125 degrees on the field and these guys are, basically wrapped in foil. They're in there. Yeah, it's going to be pretty warm. But like I said, I just, maybe an 8 o'clock kickoff every once in a while in the horseshoe. Can we get that? I mean, hello, athletic director.
Yeah.
Help us out.
I mean, maybe they get one with like one of the West Coast Big Ten teams, like a USC, maybe down the line. Maybe not. I mean, not this year, but
yeah,
down the line, USC maybe, or one of these other teams. They got to play a little bit better on the West Coast. They haven't really given us too much of a damn to care about in football since they've been really into the Big Ten. So keep an eye on all of that. I will say, we were talking off air before we go to break. We have a few minutes left in this segment. I wanted to ask you, are these the coolest black uniforms in college football right now? Because we were talking a little bit off air about some other ones. I brought up Oklahoma State.
Love
which I think is like, those are slick. Like those are amazing. And then you look at even TCU. Like TCU made the black unis cool before anybody else really did, with the purple, the horned frog. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they had the retro one, and then they had the one. Oh, bro. And then who could forget Oregon? Oregon with their like 250 uniforms. Yeah, who even knows? I can't even keep track of how many uniforms Oregon has. I'm not going to be a homer. I don't know if Ohio State has the coolest alt uniforms or the black, the coolest black uniforms or whatever. I do. I really, you said Oklahoma State. They're amazing. I love them. Yeah. I think they're just a lot of teams that have, but and sometimes I even teeter on like I'll go back to like, okay, well, I hate to be this guy, but even that team up north, man, I kind of like the classic, like when they wear the all blues. I think those kind of pop, man. Like, I don't know, there's just something about them. I like them. I gotta respect it, but I don't know. I think and I guess that that's considered technically an alt uniform, but Michigan's never going to do the all black thing. I don't think that would even really work with what they have going on, the color scheme that they have. But I don't know. I mean, I like Oklahoma State. I'll be honest with you, I like a lot of the alt uniforms, like you said. What about Georgia?
Really loud. Did you see me jump? Somehow your voice got really modulated in my ears and you scared me. I may have made a mess. We have to during the break. I'll get a new pair of pants.
That was funny. I hope they clip that.
Clip it. Yeah, definitely.
That was hilarious. What about Georgia? I lost my train of thought. But Georgia, they have some real cool ones too.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about Georgia's color scheme I don't love, like the red with the gray. I don't know. That doesn't pop for me as well. I'm not sure. I would probably pick Oklahoma State. I may even go Oklahoma State over the Buckeyes alternate uniforms. I really like Oklahoma State. They've got some really clean looking, even like the orange. Everything looks really, and I'm kind of I'm a little partial to black and orange. I did go to Ohio Northern. I did attend Ohio Northern for a couple of years, so I partial to the black and orange uniform combo. I do like the way that looks, so maybe that's a little bit of that too.
All right. I respect it. We'll keep an eye on all the uniform changes and updates and all that as we get ready for college football. This will be Chad and I's first time diving into college football on the air this fall.
Looking forward to that.
It'll be a lot of fun. So we can't wait. Maybe we'll start putting together some plans. Maybe we'll do our top 25 rankings and go against the AP. Well, I don't know. Well, we got a lot of planning to do. It's not fall yet. It's not even the dog days of summer, but we are still here with you.
It's barely spring, Eli. It doesn't even feel like spring yet.
It doesn't, but 84 next Monday is what they're telling me. It's what they're telling me. We got to check with Matt. We got to give a call to Matt and see what's going on.
Yeah, we'll get him back in here in a few days.
Perfect. Awesome. Sounds good. All right. With that being said, make sure, again, you give us a follow, like, subscribe, all the great stuff. If you enjoy the conversation Chad and I are having and all of our weekly coverage, our daily coverage here on Inside Edge Net on all the socials, YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and even Twitch. Of course, you can stay locked in here with us. We have Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell, 5 to 6 p.m. weekdays here on the Inside Edge Network, followed by later on in the evening, The Daily Show, which is what you're seeing now. Inside Edge Primetime, Chad and I from 10 to 11 p.m. And then Midnight Run with Anthony Alford from midnight to 1 a.m. weeknights. Just three great daily shows. And then we have weekly programming as well. Of course, Real Talk with Pop Moon, My Pops, Saturdays at 5 p.m. You have Jersey Chasers with Autumn and Christy, which is 7:30 on Wednesdays. Of course, Voice of the Land, Ryan Mosser and Kevin Arnold. Commissioner's Couch with Ryan Mosser and David Calhoun. And the main event, Rob Rizicki, Double A Anthony Alford, and myself. We have a lot of great programming. Sometimes we just lose track of it, but we have so much going on for you. Something for everybody. Again, we're Cleveland's digital leader, your source for sports, entertainment, mental health conversations, news, and so much more. Everything in between. We appreciate you. So again, give us a like, subscribe, follow, all that great stuff. Inside Edge Net, and check out the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Again, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Check that out. Go to the partners page with the QR code right above Chad's head. You've heard from Fanatics.com, AllieRoseFragrances.com, W Energy, SportsMemorabilia.com. We'll hear from Awesome Moments and all of our great partners. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you for watching and rocking with us here. We're not done yet. When we come back, Chad and I are going to get after it. It is time for another Tuesday Top 5. Are you ready for some basketball? Kind of gave it away a little bit there, but you have to come back and keep it with us here to see what's going on. This Inside Edge Primetime, back after this.
Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife, Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at monstermomentsphotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. monstermomentsphotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Don't it feel good when the Cavaliers and the Pistons tied the series, tied at 2-2? We can kind of stretch just a bit. Cavaliers going on the road. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up tonight on Midnight Run. Plus, the return of our favorite segment, Midnight Conversations. Myself, Eli, and Omar will have that for you, including the big question. Does water equal wet? I personally don't think so, but some of you are probably going to be pissed when you hear my discussion about that, but that's coming up. Is water wet? Part of Midnight Conversations. Also, listen, Skip Bayless and Stephen A. separate, they're annoying. Together, it's television gold. We'll talk about that. Plus, any NFL schedule news, we'll get that for you coming up tonight at midnight. It's Midnight Run. We're with you every single weeknight at midnight, right here on the Inside Edge Network.
And welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad, Bryan to my right, which means he's over to your right. I'm Eli Moon. We are back for one final segment here on this Tuesday edition of Inside Edge Primetime. Of course, if you're enjoying the show so far and enjoying all of our great content all week long, all of our shows, like, subscribe, follow Inside Edge Net on all the socials, and check out the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Check out our partners page, our shop page. You can get all the great stuff. Mugs, shirts, polos, jackets, all the great stuff. Go get it. And if you buy something, you're going to contribute to the 10 purchases we need by the end of May to cut my hair on Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell. So check out the partners page, check out the shop page, check out the personalities page, and read about Chad and I and all your favorite Inside Edge Network talent. How about that? All right, we're back in the saddle. One more segment before we put a bow on this thing and hand it off to AA Anthony Alford for him to open it up like he's happy on Christmas morning for another unhinged hour Midnight Run with, of course, Anthony Alford. I'll be there as well. I'll be producing the show behind the scenes. You'll see me from time to time. And, of course, you'll see me at Midnight Conversations with Omar and AA. We had the debut of that segment last week, Chad. It got very unhinged. AA with a living room. I don't think he still understands the concept of a living room. We're going to talk about water and if it's wet tonight.
I'm not even sure how to start to get into that. We got to find out more about whatever Omar's got going on, man. You got to maybe ask him some questions about that. Maybe he can fill you in. He seems to be pretty confident. He's got some roommates there that maybe aren't helping with rent or whatever's happening. I don't know. We got to talk about that later.
So we'll have to ask Omar. We'll see if Omar is available maybe later on this week. He'll obviously be on Midnight Run tonight. We'll see if he's available later this week. Now he will be on the Inside Edge Network this week. Now, reminder for everybody anticipating and waiting at the edge of their seats, Tuesday Top 5 here in just a second, folks. Yes. But I do want to tell you about our Yes, easy, pal, easy. Calm down. We know you almost had an accident last break.
Almost. I just ordered some. Yeah, I ordered some Inside Edge sweats. I went to the QR code and
we need some Inside Edge.
I'm not gonna get here in time. It's bad.
Yep. All right, so let's go over Super Thursday, right? The Inside Edge Network, that's us and everybody, the 13 shows and all the talent. And of course, owner Peter Tella, program director Anthony Alford, and all of us. We're going to bring you Inside Edge Network presents Super Thursday. That is, of course, May 13th. That's, if you check your calendar, that's technically in 2 days. Double A has it as the 13th, but it's going to be the 14th, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be, yes, the 14th.
The whole midnight thing is really confusing Double A.
Yeah, he threw me off. He threw me off in the post. It's going to be the 14th, Super Thursday, because the 13th is Wednesday, Double A.
Yes.
But the 14th, May 14th, it is going to be 9 consecutive hours of Inside Edge Network programming. Again, May 14th, this Thursday. Easiest way to remember is come see us Thursday. We'll have 5 p.m. Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell till 6 p.m. Then 6 p.m. at Voice of the Land with Kevin Arnold and Ryan Mosser. That'll be from 6 to 7. 7 p.m. the Commissioner's Couch podcast, which will be with Ryan Mosser and David Calhoun. Then at 8 p.m., we have the Inside Edge NFL schedule release show. That'll be with myself, Chad Bryan. It'll be TK Dandridge and Omar Klossel. It'll be here. We'll be talking all the way up till 10 p.m. when it'll be time for Inside Edge Primetime with Chad and I. And then, of course, 11 p.m. It'll be an 11 p.m. run of Midnight Run with Anthony Alford. But 2 hours. You get 2 hours of unhinged behavior. Starts early. He'll go with you to 1. And then after that, 1 a.m., Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast with Kyle Cornell and Anthony Alford. If you missed everything I just said, again, that was a lot. 9 consecutive hours of programming. Go follow Inside Edge Net on all the socials. You'll see the lineup. So much great programming, great talent, a lot of great shows. I'm hyped up about it. I'm ready to have another Dr. Pepper. I'm ready to go.
That's legit. I mean, the only thing more legit, Eli, would be after all that signing off with the national anthem and then like 4 hours of static, right? Like that's about it.
Yes, that would be correct, Chad. That would be correct. That'd be correct. Now that is Thursday. Again, that is Thursday, this Thursday, May 14th. Make sure you set your calendars, mark it on your, your calendars, or do all of that digitally and physically. All right, Chad, before I run into a tongue twister of words, I'm going to hand it off to you for Tuesday Top 5.
I appreciate the benefit of the doubt that I won't run into a tongue twister of words, but hey, good looking out. All right, so it's Tuesday. It's almost. I wouldn't say it's almost Wednesday, but it's not. We still have over an hour. I thought it was. I don't know. I thought it was almost midnight. Now Double A's got me confused on the time of the date, Eli. I don't know what's going on.
Dude, he needs to chill with this midnight. He's like moving the day ahead. He's like time traveling, dude.
But he's got the date back behind. I don't know what he's doing. He's got something going on. Listen, if you can figure out how to go backwards, there's a couple of things I'd like to read. A couple of baseball games, maybe a pitch I'd like to just.
If he's going forward, I'd also like to know if he has the lottery number tickets.
Yes. Yes.
Come on, help some guys out. The guys on Primetime will not say no to the winning lottery numbers. Even if you want to give us a few, we'll figure out the others.
I will not stop working. I will not stop doing shows. I'll just do them a lot more happily and a lot more comfortably. Anyway, it's time for the Tuesday Top 5. I don't think there's any, we don't need a big fanfare, although we should have some kind of intro for the Tuesday Top 5, like some trumpets or something. I don't know, whatever.
Let's see. Let's see what we got here. I got you. Here we go. I got this.
Love it. All right, works for me. That sounds like when I made the master. That's what it sounds. Okay. Anyway, Tuesday Top 5. We were thinking like, okay, Donovan Mitchell had a game, right? I mean, a game last night. It was amazing to watch. That game 4 was tied the record, right, for points. I had 39 points in the second half. Crazy, finished with 43. So we got thinking here at the Inside Edge Network. Well, just really Eli and myself got to thinking, what are the top Cavs individual playoff performances, and can we put them in a Tuesday Top 5? Well, we could, and we did. So, again, no further ado. These, listen, the Cleveland Cavaliers, we've had heartbreak here. We've had some miracles. There's been enough dramatic playoff moments, I think, to power downtown Cleveland for maybe the next decade. But every so often, one player kind of steps into basketball immortality and throws a game up like Donovan Mitchell did last night. Maybe he made our Top 5. Who knows? But they turn a playoff game into their own personal movie, right? It's like I don't know. It's their own personal documentary or something. I don't know. Anyway, these are the 5 greatest individual postseason performances in Cavs history, at least that we could think of. Number 5. Good old number 5. It's And there's LeBron is saying, "Look at my stat line," and J.R. Smith's like, "Yeah, I see it. What do you want me to do with it? I don't know, man. I'm not situationally aware. I just knocked down threes." Anyway, it's LeBron James in Game 1 of the 2018 Finals, and if you watch the Cavs long enough, you know what this moment's about. You know exactly what LeBron's thinking there, and you know exactly what happened with J.R. Smith. We're not going to get into that. We're going to get into the 51 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists that LeBron put up on the road against possibly maybe the most stacked team of this entire era that we've ever seen. Maybe not we've ever seen, but that we've seen in this era. This was pretty much LeBron dragging the Cavaliers like a man pulling a lawnmower out of the mud. Honestly, Eli, that's what it reminded me of. He hit impossible shots, right? Controlled pretty much every possession and literally dragged Cleveland within seconds of what could have and should have been an historic upset until J.R. Smith became a permanent trivia answer. The loss still stings here, but the performance, I think, even in a loss, it remains legendary. There you see the 51, 8 and 8 that LeBron put up in that Game 1 of 2018. And Eli, I mean, this was a banger as far as games go.
It sure was. It was a great game. I remember being at a bar watching this, actually. And I just remember the freak out moment when everybody in the bar realized J.R. Smith didn't understand that we needed to go to the hoop, that we didn't really understand what was going on. And he was to J.R. Smith. And it's a shame because a lot of times people won't remember this LeBron performance, over 50 points on the road. Like you said, Chad, against Golden State, that Kevin Durant led team, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, all those guys, Andre Iguodala. I mean, they were loaded. And this really should have been a win for the Cavaliers. They played well enough to win that game. You also remember, I mean, what caused this moment was a George Hill missed free throw. I can't tell you how many times George Hill's missed clutch free throws on the Spurs. You think of George Hill on the Spurs.
Yeah.
He was knocking down clutch free throws. He was a great piece for the Spurs. And I'm not trying to knock on him, but in this moment, I was very mad at George Hill. You couldn't hit these free throws. And then George Hill moved out of the way, and J.R. Smith took all the shine and who was to blame this time. But
anybody even remembers that happened with George Hill, honestly, because of the J.R. Smith gaff.
Yeah, George Hill missing the free throw. But hey, LeBron 51, 8 and 8. It was hard not to put him almost on every number on this list, but there's some other great performances,
Yeah, it could have just been LeBron's individual playoff performances wearing a Cavs uniform, but we didn't do that. So let's move on. I think number 4. Listen, and I'm just going to tell you, no suspense needed. This was not Donovan Mitchell. I should have put Spida. This was Spida. This was Spida. We talked about it, right? When he's playing well, he's Spida. When he's not, he gets the government name. Donovan Mitchell, man, Game 4. He came here to deliver playoff explosions, right? That's why the Cavs brought him here. And honestly, Game 4, that was the kind of night the city has been waiting for and chomping at the bit for and kind of dreaming about as far as these last couple of years in the playoffs, right? Deep threes. He had some fadeaways, some downhill. He finally went at the rim a little bit. The Pistons defense, for whatever reason, they were protecting the paint so well. But yeah, Donovan Mitchell started going downhill. He hit some impossible shots. Had the swagger of a guy that knew nobody in that Pistons uniform was going to stay in front of him or stop him, right? Every time the Pistons tried to make a push, which they didn't do much of in that third quarter because they barely scored, Mitchell answered like a smoke alarm with handles, man. It was at 43, 5 and 2. And even he, look, we had LeBron pointing at his, remember? He said, "Hey, look." And I said, "Yeah, I see it." And Donovan Mitchell's like, "Look, there's my name. It's on the Tuesday top 5. I made primetime. I'm with Eli and Chad on this is the biggest thing that's ever happened to me," probably is what he's thinking if he's watching.
Hopefully until June, where he wins an NBA championship. I mean, as much as I love the flowers, thank you, Don, but this is yes. This was it feels like it just happened yesterday that this was such a crazy moment for the Cavaliers, but
it feels like about 4 hours ago this went down, yeah.
But obviously it did, for everybody out there not catching the drift. But this was a great moment. I mean, 39 points in the second half for Donovan Mitchell. I mean, incredible. His teammates gave him a little bit of crap because he didn't break the record by hitting his free throw, but nonetheless, a great moment. Spida has arrived officially. This is the Donovan Mitchell we're waiting on. This is the Donovan Mitchell. We know that, hey, if this guy comes out and plays like this, we can afford for James Harden to have an night. And he didn't even have an night last night. 24 and 11. but
Yeah.
we can afford for the other guys to have not as stellar of performances when Donovan Mitchell goes into this mode. Now, the key for the Cavaliers is going to be keeping an eye on having Donovan have this many performances. You don't want him to have to go Spida every night. You
No.
want him to be able to breathe and just impact the game like he does. But
Yeah.
every now and then, you got to reach into your bag of magic tricks and pull out this. And Donovan Mitchell delivered yesterday, number 4 on the list, Chad. I love it.
Love it. Yeah, it was a fun game to watch. So number 3, it got me thinking, when we talked about this list, and I thought, well, this is prime time. I mean, we're allowed to it's late. We can show a boobie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well then let's just do it. Before there was Kyrie Irving, before there was the title, there was boobie, quite honestly. And who doesn't love a good boobie? The rookie guard dropped 31 points and buried Detroit. Remember this? Game 6 of that 2007 Eastern Conference Finals, 19 in the fourth quarter. Boobie Gibson was on fire. In all honesty, Daniel Gibson was absolutely on fire to help send the Cavs to their first ever NBA Finals. Listen, we all know how it went when they got there, but that's not the point. Every jumper it felt like a dagger, right? Somewhere in Michigan, Pistons fans, I think they still probably are looking for Boobie Gibson out on the floor. They still hear the nylon, of the sound of the ball going through the nylon of the net. This was fun. 31, 6, and 2. I mean, it's not really about the rebounds or the assists. It's more about what he did in that fourth quarter. And just the moment, right? The moment wasn't too big for Boobie Gibson. Hit a ton of 3, like I said, 19 points in the fourth quarter to send them to their first ever NBA Finals. You can't forget a game like that. I mean, it's forever etched in Cavs lore, and it's right here on our list at number 3.
Yeah, and I'm going to date myself here a little bit, Chad. I was 9 years old. I was going to be 10 that July.
All right.
But I remember sitting in the living room at my childhood home with Papa Moon and sitting there and going, oh my goodness, bro, Boobie Gibson could be here for the next 10 years possibly. He could be a guy we build around on this team, around LeBron. And obviously it didn't work out that way, but Boobie Gibson's still beloved, crazy in Cleveland. He deserves it for a game like this alone. In baseball, we herald Rajay Davis, and deservedly so, for the home run he hit off of a Roldis Chapman in the World Series that really should have been the spark of in the start of a championship DVD for the Guardians. That's another story for another day. But Boobie Gibson, incredible performance. Absolutely spark plug. If you remember his real 2-3 year run, that's what it was really, 2 to 4 year run of Boobie Gibson just knocking down some very vital shots. It was a lot of fun, man. I mean, it was a lot of fun. He was great at Texas. And then, of course, Papa Moon and I every now and then watch the reality shows. We have some homework to watch some of these long lists from Autumn.
Yes,
we're working on that. AA2. We might have to pass the list off to you to join us, but.
All right.
That all being said,
I don't know. She gave you a list like there might be 36 hours in a day. We're gonna have to watch that, man. We're gonna have to keep it on.
It's a lot. It's a lot. We might have to. Yeah. We might, oof. All right. Yes, we're working on it, Autumn. Don't worry. If you're listening, we're working on it. But Boobie Gibson, yes, he was also on reality shows like I think The Challenge and all these other ones. So I mean, dude, I always root for Boobie Gibson wherever he's at. You know what?
Yeah.
We'll always remember Game 6 in 2007 in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Once a Cav, always a Cav. And in case you forgot that he scored 31 points in that game, there he is. He's pointing at it. He's saying, "Look." The other guys can point it through. Look at me. I got 31 points.
Yes.
Yeah, great game. Fun game. A lot of fun. So let's get to number 2 because this was a little bit different. This was facing elimination. This was a possible elimination game, right? And again, the way I wrote it, we're not doing no drama this week. We're just gonna tell you, it's Kyrie Irving. It's Game 5 of the 2016 NBA Finals. Scores 41 points on the road, and one of the maybe one of the coldest performances imaginable, honestly. He and LeBron went bucket for bucket in this one. And they both hit shots that made defenders maybe question their profession. This was like, people say Jordan played against plumbers. I think a lot of guys maybe from that Warriors team are now plumber. No, they're all on the same. It's wild. No, they're not on the same team anymore, but it's a joke. But anyway, this was artistry under pressure, man. You talk about handles. We mentioned handles a minute ago. Handles. My goodness, Kyrie. Floaters, tough finishes, and he had that calm, quiet confidence, right? He just, again, the moment was never too big for him in this season, especially in these 2016 playoffs. He was there, he was present, he was engaged, he was bought in, and I don't know if he had mentioned the earth being flat yet or not, but it went downhill shortly after, and he wanted to go be Batman somewhere, and whatever, he left, but that's fine.
Hey, you know what, Chad? No slander of Kyrie on this show.
No, because we're immortalizing him he's got the number 2 spot on the list. Yeah, game 5 of the 2016 finals.
Yes, and a lot of people will say, well, LeBron had 41 as well. As Chad mentioned, they went bucket for bucket. And in the stat line, maybe LeBron has a few rebounds more, obviously, and whatever have you. But I think this is more so for Kyrie. This was like, hey, can Kyrie be the guy? Can he step up and be what LeBron needs in a 1A, 1B, whatever have you on this team? And he did, with their backs against the wall. I mean, they were, at this point in the 2016 finals, they were down 3-1. This was the first of 3 elimination games. This was a big moment, and Kyrie Irving stepped up on the road, a huge game, and I mean, just incredible. And it's moments like that, and it's moments like that just make you think, like, man, I wish we still had him. I'll still forever be mad that the discussions happened and they leaked that they were going to move him for Paul George or whatever. I just, still to this day, man, you just wonder what could have been if those guys would have stayed together or whatever. But, that's a bunch of what ifs. And, I don't live in the what ifs. I live in this is what it is. And what it is a 2016 that we'll always remember. And it's because of performances like Game 5 by Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I left the official in there in the background, by the way, looking like Urban Meyer. But yeah, I don't know.
Goodness.
I mean, doesn't it look like Urban Meyer? But yeah, I don't know. These were fun teams to watch, especially obviously you like watching your team win an NBA championship. I mean, of course that goes without saying, but I honestly, Eli, I'll never forget this finals. I wouldn't even say when I moved up to Cleveland, it wasn't like I came up here a diehard Cavs fan. I really didn't have an NBA team, right? I was a Jordan guy when I was a kid. I mean, I'm a little older. I grew up watching Michael Jordan play, and I liked the Bulls. And then when Jordan was done there, I didn't really stay a Bulls fan. I quickly found out I was more of a Michael Jordan fan, and that's okay. So I didn't really have an NBA team, but I adopted the Cavs when I came up here, and there were some thin years, right? Like you know what happened before LeBron came back. So this 4-year run of LeBron, like I said, it was you could just punch your ticket to the NBA Finals. LeBron went 10 times straight overall. That's insane, Eli.
Yeah.
That's insanity. An entire decade of seeing LeBron in the finals. And I know a lot of people like to, disparage LeBron and say he's, whatever, the 31st best player of all time. That's insane. That's crazy. But amazing game from Kyrie Irving. So much fun to watch. Kyrie was so good, especially down the stretch. Once they were down 3-1, it would have, like I said, it would have been really easy for the Cavs to just pack it in and say, hey, listen, I mean, we're playing quite possibly the best team of all time. They just went 73-9 in the regular season. And instead of doing that, they came back and, I mean, historically came back from a 3-1 deficit and won that championship. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Chad, does that mean Danielle Marshall's number 1?
Absolutely. I'm spoiler alert. I mean, well, let me just click on it now because, nope, doesn't mean that.
Oh, okay.
Well, listen, you might be wondering why there's a picture, but we'll get to that in a minute. It's not because there's a LeBron-tage. There's a LeBron-tage. But this is Game 7, 2016, NBA Finals, Golden State Warriors, again, on the road, right? This is honestly the crown jewel. 27 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, 3 blocks, and not just 3 blocks, Eli, but the block, right? Maybe, arguably the greatest defensive play in NBA Finals history. Down 3-1 in the series. Cleveland, the Cavs, it was the impossible comeback, right? Not only that, they ended a 52-year championship drought for this city. And LeBron didn't just play great. I mean, he carried literally the entire, maybe not even the entire city, just almost all of Ohio pretty much across the finish line with him that night. And it felt a little, I don't want to give what is to get a little face in the corner or something. So no, again, he gets the whole LeBron-tage. You get a whole, it's a wall of pictures from that night. But yeah, there's the block. I mean, you see him pinning, the whatever, the ball up against the glass there. Some people say it's goaltending, but no, he clearly got it before it went up off the glass. One of the most amazing hustle plays I think I've ever seen in my life. I don't think Andre Iguodala, I don't think the Warriors really knew what hit him. I don't think they understood even that LeBron was just that focused in that moment. What an amazing memory. That whole, again, that Game 5, Game 6, and Game 7 of those finals were probably some of the most amazing sports I've ever watched. And so you got to give LeBron his flowers. Here he is. He's number 1 on our Tuesday top 5 of Cavs individual playoff performances because that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was, man, What a year, man. 2016, bro. And yeah, could have put LeBron a lot on there. And of course, critics are always
Could've been all
coming in,
LeBron.
Chad.
Yeah.
Critics are always coming in. You know, we can never please everybody, Chad. And we got a comment here if you don't mind bringing it back to us, pal.
Oh yeah,
we'll read this-
no, we can bring it right back. Let me get back to the screen there so I can take that down. Yeah, here we are.
Thank you. Yeah, here's the comment. Why don't you go ahead and read that? Why don't you read that out loud for everybody?
I mean, I don't know if it's such a good. It says great list, but it does say we're missing LeBron's Game 5 performance in the 2007 Eastern Conference Finals. That was crazy. I told you where I was for that one. I remember watching that one as well. That was wild. But yeah, I think we went with some series clinchers in this one. We went with elimination games. We had to leave something off the list, right? I mean, sorry, look, sometimes you get a Popeye's chicken sandwich and it's not in the top 5 list, and then everyone yells at you for 3 or 4 weeks. So hopefully, the next time we have Autumn on, she doesn't say, "Hey, what happened to Game 5 in 2007, bro?"
Yeah, Autumn, Double A, they're all always gonna go off. I mean, Double A chiming in there, and we'll probably hear about it at Midnight Run. So make sure you stay locked in, of course, at midnight here on the Inside Edge Network at Inside Edge Net and all the socials, so you can hear what Double A has to talk about. Of course, midnight conversations in the show and a lot of other stuff to be discussed. It's unhinged, so I mean, look, it's gonna get unhinged. That's where we're at. He's gonna talk some Cavs as well, of course. And here's Double A. He is ready. 25 of the final 29 points. Double A, you know what? How about this?
You know what? How about 25 of the final 29 chicken sandwiches? Double A. How about that? Yeah.
How about this? Double A.
Our show.
We request you to come on this show next Tuesday and give us your top 5 Cavaliers individual playoff performance. We're calling you out respectfully, Double A Anthony Alford.
I'm not going to hijack your show, but if you end up giving me your list and you go, you know what? Actually, now that I think about Chad's list, wasn't that bad. Then you're going to have to trust me from now on, man. Sorry.
Yeah, we want to see your list, and we want to see everybody else's list out there. So if you're thinking you have a different list than us and Cavs fans and NBA fans, let us know what the top 5 Cavaliers individual playoff performances were. And we'd love to hear if you're a different NBA fan of a different NBA team. Tell us what your top 5 individual playoff performances for your team was.
That would be fun to go through. That would be a lot of fun to read through.
Actually. A lot of fun. All right, Chad, let's put a bow on this before we get yelled at by Double A. He is brewing the coffee. I hear the bat signal, which is the coffee machine, the Keurig. So with that being said, it's time for us to do some final thoughts. Do you want to start or do you want me to go?
Why don't you go first?
Absolutely. I will say this. I'll be short and sweet with it. There's going to be distractions that come up, whether it's in your current day, your coming up next week that you don't see coming up. You may have already got through some distractions. You may have dealt with things that have been trying to knock you off your purpose and your mission and your goals. I'm here to remind you that we all go through it. Stay locked in, tunnel vision on what you are focused on, whether it's getting that promotion at your job or finding the courage to go become an entrepreneur and go do whatever you want to go do. Whether it's just, somebody out there trying to be a great parent out for somebody, whatever it is, stay locked in on your tunnel vision. I can't tell you what your purpose is. That's for you to figure out, but I'm here to support you every step of the way. And I'm reminding you, stay locked in. There's going to be distractions. Block them out. It doesn't matter if they're not right here. If you're not looking straight ahead at your goals of what you're trying to get to, then you're doing it wrong. So stay locked in on everything you're trying to accomplish. That goes for everybody. That goes for the Cavaliers tomorrow night, and it goes for you out there watching, because I love you. Chad loves you. We appreciate you. So stay locked in, everybody. That's what I got.
What were we talking about? I got distracted.
Oh, my goodness. We'll talk to you after the show.
That's it?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. You're something else. That's all you got?
I got distracted. I don't know what to do.
All right.
I have many. None of my thoughts are final. They're all like a loop. I don't know. Final thoughts. It's tough.
All right. Well, we'll let Chad figure out his final.
2007, 25, the last 29. Who cares?
We'll let Chad figure out his final thoughts for tomorrow. And we hope that you have some more thoughts here for us at Inside Edge Net. Like, subscribe, follow, so you can tell us what you think of our top 5 list, and later on, what you think of the unhinged behavior of one Anthony Alford. That's Midnight Run coming up at midnight. Of course, check out the website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. And that's going to do it for Chad, Bryan. Am I right? You're right. I am Eli Moon. This is Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. We appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow for a very fun Wednesday. Way Back Wednesday coming up, and a lot more to talk about then. But until then, stay safe, stay blessed. We love you. The Midnight Run coming up at midnight here on the Inside Edge Network.